Hey everybody, I'm here today to show you how to caulk a bathtub properly. This will be a complete tutorial, so let's get right into the video. Now, when you first start caulking your bathtub, you're going to want to make sure that you have a clean surface. So if you have any old caulking, you want to remove that properly. Now, fortunately in my case, unfortunately the builder did not put caulking on this bathtub when they built it, but it's fortunate for me because I don't have to remove anything. So we're starting off with a fresh surface. Let's get right into the video. The first thing that I did was I applied 2 lines of tape, as you can see right here, throughout the entire perimeter of the bathtub. Now this is an optional step, but I would recommend it because it's going to give you the absolute cleanest line possible with regards to the caulking around your bathtub. It's going to give you a nice clean look. You don't want this, dirty looking line. You want a nice crisp line. So I would recommend taping around the perimeter of the bathtub. I'll bring the camera inside to show you a better view. Now you're gonna have to bear with me. I'm speaking at a relatively low volume because my daughter's taking a nap and I don't want to wake her up. And so that's the line right there. And it's a very tight situation right here. So my camera is sitting outside of the bathtub on a tripod, which is sitting on a box. And luckily for me, the glass is see-through, so you can still see what's going on. Now I purposely left this part over here undone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm now going to take just painter's tape, but you can really use any tape. Okay, and it doesn't have to be the best tape. Like, you don't have to use the best painter's tape that you can find. You can use like any tape that you have lying around the house for the most part, because it just needs to stick for a very short amount of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue this line, just making sure that I give it a good amount. You don't want it to be too thin, the line of caulking, but you don't want it to be too thick, right? You want it to just be sort of just right in the middle, if that makes sense. So as you can see right here, you can see that on the camera. I'm just applying the tape and I'm making sure that where my tape ends up is definitely over that tile spot. So where I want the caulking to be. Like I said, you want the caulking line to make sense. You want it to prevent water from getting into the crevices right there. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish up right here. As you can see, just make sure, some people will use just one strip of tape. I use multiple, but make sure that you're lining up the edges. Okay, now as you can see, I went over the corner there. Okay, now with this piece, I'm also going to go over the corner, and I'll show you what I'm going to do there at the edge. Okay, I'll bring the camera closer in a moment. So I went over the corner there and over the corner there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply an additional piece of tape right to the edge to sort of mark my ending for the caulking. Because you don't want it to just keep going and going. You want to make sure that you know exactly where it's going to end. The purpose of this is to just create a nice crisp line, and I'll bring the camera inside right now to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So as you can see right over here, I ended up going with the top to the edge, the bottom to the, over the edge with both of them, and then this piece of tape right here marks the ending. So the caulking line is going to end right there. Okay, perfect. Now you'll notice that this caulking line is a bit thicker or wider than I would usually do, and that's because they put these small little pieces of tile or stone, whatever this is down here, and there's these significant gaps, and I don't have the same grout to fill it, so I'm going to caulk right over that, and hopefully that's going to give me a nice line. It's very important to caulk a bathtub because it really gives it a watertight seal. You have to remember that grout is porous, meaning it's going to absorb water. So when you add caulking, it's going to give it a nice tight seal. Okay, so we're done with the taping. Now we are ready, and preparation is key, because if you have everything ready like I have right here, you're going to be in a very good position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly turn around, and I'm going to take the camera, move it to the other side, just like that, and you can see exactly what I'm going to do here. So now you're going to want to take your tube of caulking, as you can see right here, okay? Bring it in the bath with you. Also, you're going to take your caulking utility right here, caulking gun right here, bring it in the bath with you as well, okay? Then you're going to take a wet paper towel, you're going to need this, or a cup of some sort. You can also use anything with water, basically, okay? You're going to bring it in the bath. You're going to open up your tube of caulking, okay? Cool little trick, with most caulking guns, there's going to be a little hole right there that you can use. And it actually says spout cutter on this one, but essentially what you're going to do is you're going to give it a nice clip, like that. You don't want it to be too big. Ooh, that did not work out too well. You don't want the spout to be too big, but you don't want it to be too small, or else it's going to take you all day to do the job. So that's the size that I use roughly. But then there's an extra seal inside of the tube of caulking. And what we're going to do to get to that extra seal is there's also going to be an extra tool on your caulking gun right here. So there's a little piece right here. I have to just try and get over this. There's a little piece and there's a little bump right here. There we go. Okay, whew, almost lost a fingernail. But as you can see, there's this little piece right here, and this is used to actually pierce the tube of caulking. So I'm going to take that, as you can see right here. Okay, we're going to just poke it inside a few times. Make sure we're getting all the way in there. And when you pull it out, if you did a good job, you're going to see that there will be caulking on that piece. So we're ready to go. Okay, so let's put that piece away carefully. I don't want to get too dirty. I'm going to be honest with you, you can't really do this job without getting dirty, but you can do it without getting overly dirty. So we're going to retract that. That was really loud. I should not have done that quickly. Put your tube of caulking inside. Okay, now here's where it gets a little bit complicated in the sense that you have to move it quickly but slowly at the same time, if that makes any sense. So you want to move quickly along here to not get too much caulking on there, because it's just going to spread if you get too much, okay? But at the same time, you want to move rather slowly because you want to do a good job. So give it a couple pushes of the lever, okay? And we're going to wait until we see a little bit of caulking come out, and don't go crazy because it's going to spew right out. So just, okay, it's coming up. So if I just give another little pump, you can see right here, here's the caulking coming out, okay? And it comes out, there's a delay. When you stop pushing that, it's going to keep coming out. So I'm just going to put this here just to sort of prep the surface because I already have it on my finger. Okay, so we're going to do the first line all the way across. So get that tube of caulking and just pump it. Now don't make it, like I said, don't make it too thick because you can always add more after, but you want it to be thick enough that it's going to spread properly. Okay, so I'm going to try and let go of the lever right here and slowly move towards the corner. Just keep moving it just a bit till the caulking stops. Okay, so now just spread this here. So as you can see, even though I stopped pushing the lever a while ago, the caulking is still coming out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to wet our finger. You want to get your finger nice and wet, okay? On the towel that I was talking about. This is a wet paper towel. I'm getting my finger nice and wet. Taking my finger and slowly smoothing this out. Okay? Now there's a lot of extra caulking. Don't let this go to waste. Put it over here, okay? I went too heavy at the beginning, which is okay. I mean, even if you're a pro, listen, it's normal. And the reason we have the tape is because it makes it okay to go a little too heavy. So I'm just going to take the extra caulking and spread it because you'd be surprised. It looks like it's a big tube, but you get to the end, you're like, wait, I don't have enough. So spread it. Make sure your finger stays wet with either water or caulking on it. So right now my finger has the caulking on it. Okay, and I'll bring the camera inside to show you in just a moment. Make sure you get all of that corner. Keep spreading it, okay? Just another pass, one more time. You don't want to take off too much. And then we're going to continue along the other side. And like I said, if you do this properly, it won't take you that long, okay? Let's get the excess off here. I don't want to dirty my new bathtub, okay? So just the backstory. My wife and I bought a new house. There are tons of things to do in the house. So this is one of them. So I didn't build this bathtub. We bought the house with the bathtub in it, and now I'm kind of fixing it up because not everyone has the same standard of work. So whoever did this job, they didn't exactly think of caulking this part, which is fine, whatever, teach their own. So inside over here, as you can see, I don't want to get my camera all dirty. We have the line of caulking right there. Now there, like I said, I went a little too heavy there, but as you can see, it sort of thinned out towards the end, and we're over here now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the camera down over here. See if I can give you a better view like that. And we're going to continue. So now I'm going to do this part right here, and then I'll switch sides. I'll go to the other side and we'll continue. So as you can see right here, we are going to get the caulking utility right here. We're going to just apply a little bit of pressure. And I know I went too heavy there, so I'm easing up. Because like I said, you can always add more after. It's really not a big deal. It's really easy to do. Okay, so I'm hoping that I'm still on camera at this point. So what I have now is I have done this line right over here. Okay, get the excess off of the tube. Because like I said, this is my new bathroom. I don't want to get it dirty. Okay, let's be realistic. And if I get it dirty, my wife is definitely not going to be too pleased. So she'll be happy with the line, the nice crisp line of caulking that I did, but she won't be too pleased. So what I'm going to do now, spread that, get a little bit of water on my finger, because when you have water on your finger, it allows it to spread much easier. Water on my finger, take this, spread it like that. Now look at, because I went a bit lighter, there's not as much excess, right? But the thing is over here, I don't know if you can see this, there's not enough caulking over here. So it's not a problem. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some excess from here, okay? We'll try and bring it down as much as we can right over here. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, and we still need more. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna switch sides again. Like I said, you gotta bear with me. Very tight space. I tried to do my best with this whole scenario here. We're gonna turn this way, like that, make sure the camera doesn't fall. And we are going to continue over here. Oh, I just got caulking on my pants. Well, it's okay, it's fine. These are my work pants, but I don't want to get the bathtub all dirty. I'm gonna have to clean all this after anyways. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go from here back, and I'm gonna just fill in the spots that are a bit thin right here, okay? So first of all, I have some caulking on my finger. Let's spread it off like that, okay? Wipe our fingers clean. Sorry, quick little tip. The best way to get caulking off of your hands is with a dry paper towel. That's why I also have that. But remember, this now is dirty, so don't go putting it all on your cabinets and stuff, okay? You wanna make sure you keep that like in the bath, because you can always rinse out the bath after. Now I'm gonna take my caulking gun, give a little juice right there, okay? Keep going. And like I said, it's a bit thin here, so I'm gonna stop pumping the lever now, and I'm just gonna slowly move it to add a little bit more right here. And you can almost just touch the lever, like I'm just touching the lever right now, just to give it a little bit of juice. All right, so now we're in that situation. Let's get the excess over here. Just put it like that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, wet our finger once again. We're almost done actually, so we're really close to the end. And smooth this all out. Now I did go a bit heavy there, but we're gonna use that over here. We need a little bit extra over here. Okay, perfect. So we're looking like we are in a very good situation. Now there's a big gap here between the tiles, so I'm gonna make sure that I pull some over, and I'm gonna lift my finger slightly here, because that is gonna fill it in. So I'm pushing my finger a bit harder here, but then I'm lifting my finger here slightly, and that's gonna sort of pull it in, okay? Now, like I said, you wanna get as watertight of a seal as possible, which in an ideal world, we'd get the tiles all the way down as much as possible, and then we'd caulk over the tiles. But, you know, we don't live in an ideal world, obviously, so we gotta, you know, correct other people's mistakes, but that's part of life, okay? I'm gonna wipe off the finger, just like that, okay? Get the caulking gun, fill in the last little bit right here. So now I'm gonna start at this end, okay? You wanna end in the middle, because if you end at the end, you're probably gonna end up with excess. If you end in the middle, you know, the excess is fine because you can just spread it around. So now here's another tip. What I was doing there was slightly wrong, because I was keeping the caulking gun too close to the wall, which allowed this blob to form. Not good. So keep it a little bit further, okay? Keep it maybe like 1/4 of an inch from the wall. I'm gonna go this way because we're still ending in the middle. Stop pumping. Okay, we're getting there. Alrighty, so place this, another quick tip, place this on top of the paper towel because it will continue to spew out. Alright, take my finger. So yeah, I tried to stay clean, but because I'm trying to move quickly, it's not really working out. I'm gonna spread this caulking over here, wet my finger, spread the caulking over here along this line. Okay, now there's a lot of excess because there's a really thick section over here. So this is a really thick part right here, so I left a lot of excess on purpose. So I'll pull it this way now to fill in this thickness. So you have to use your judgment. You know, caulking a bathtub is more of an art form than a science, right? You have to really use your judgment. I know that I need more here, so I'm gonna pull this over. And the purpose of the tape is to give you the cleanest line possible, and you're gonna see in like just a quick minute, we're gonna pull off the tape, because you wanna pull off the tape when everything is still wet. So now that I've filled in that gap, you can see right here it looks a little messy right here on this part. I don't know if you can tell, but we're gonna clean the finger, okay? We're gonna wet the finger, and now we're just gonna smooth it out. Look at that, it looks so much better, okay? Once again, if you wanna smooth out an area, clean your finger with the dry paper towel, wet your finger with the wet paper towel, and then just take your finger and just smooth it out, okay? Very similar to doing something like drywall mudding, where you want it to have a nice smooth finish, okay? Smooth it out. Now, I will tell you, if you're working with a perfect corner, caulking, you will end up with a relatively perfect line of caulking. Because this is a very rough section of the bathtub, I had to do a wider line of caulking. It's not going to be perfect, but it will be much better than before, and it will be watertight. That is the key here. At the end of the day, you're looking for mostly function and a little bit of form. What I'm going to do now, get another piece of paper towel. It's important to have these lying around because, trust me, you're going to need them, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull off the tape, and you're going to see how incredible it looks. Now bear with me over here, okay? I'm going to pull off some of the tape, and I might end up just, I don't know if I'll do the whole video of me pulling off the tape, or if I'll stop it midway. We'll see how it goes, but I'm going to turn the camera one more time. We're going to look right here. We're going to pull off this tape. I also think this will probably be the best section of the bathtub because it was the tightest corner to begin with. So nice and slowly, I'm going to pull off the tape. You can do this gently and do it while it's still wet, okay? Have a garbage nearby because that tape is going to be dirty. You're probably going to get caulking in other places too, but you're going to have to clean it, not a big deal. So as you can see, look at that crisp line. Ooh, wow, that is so crisp. Okay, I'm gonna bring the camera in to show you. I'm gonna, you know what? Let's just take it all off, and I'll show the whole thing. As you can see right here, oh, I just stepped on the caulking. Okay, Houston, we got an issue here. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna loop around like this. We'll turn the camera like that. Okay, as you can see right here, and we're gonna keep pulling it just like that. Okay. So we have a little issue. I did step on the caulking, so I'm going to have to clean the bathtub after no matter what. But from here, we're going to grab this piece of tape. We're going to pull this, and it should end at some point. Okay, so I'm going to put that down there. Let's wipe our hands so we don't dirty the camera. You guys are going to be impressed with this caulking line, given how bad it was to begin with. Okay, so as you can see right here. All right. We're going to pull this off like this. Just like that. I mean, if you can do this whole job without having any issues at all, then you're in a good position or without making any mess at all, then you're in a good position. Okay? Once again, I'm gonna turn the camera. I'm very sorry about this, you gotta bear with me here. I'm doing 360s in the bath. All right, look at this. Oh, wow, I hate to say I'm impressed with myself, but I didn't think it was gonna turn out this nicely because of the situation that I started with. Oh, wow. My wife is going to be impressed. My wife is going to be totally impressed. She's out right now with my son for a walk. I said, oh, don't worry, honey. It's going to be done when you get home. It's going to look beautiful. Knowing that it will probably look, kind of good. But wow, she's going to be impressed. Okay, I'm probably going to get my tripod dirty, but I need to show you this. You really need to see this. If you're still watching this video, we're like 17 minutes now. If you're still watching this, then I thank you. And I really hope that you've enjoyed the video so far. I really wanted to keep it short, but at the same time, I wanted to show you the whole process. So you saw, I only did maybe 5 minutes worth of work off camera. So you saw the whole thing. All right, let's get in here. Okay, so check this out. As you can see right here, this is what the line looks like. And this is the worst of it, meaning this is the spot that was the widest. But look at how crisp that line is. Now I'll show you what would be ideal. In an ideal situation where the line would be nice and small, it would look something like that. Okay, look at that, right? Or even like that. That would be the ideal line width if I had all the tiles going right down to the bottom. But I didn't, so we worked with it. And look at that. As you can see now, we have a watertight seal around the bathtub. A nice clean bead of caulking. Looks beautiful. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty impressed with myself. It ended up looking pretty good. Not gonna lie, okay? Relatively clean working area. And that's basically it. That is essentially how to caulk a bathtub. Relatively simple process. I've shown you the complete tutorial. I didn't leave anything out at all. And if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.